President Rousseff. We actually opened the terminal on the 11th of May in terms of starting to accommodate some traffic. So the 11th of May went off very, very well. And then yesterday, obviously, it was an honor for us because it was some kind of recognition from the country's president in terms of our contribution to them getting ready, help them getting ready for the World Cup.
You say the contribution that South Africa and airports company South Africa are making. What exactly does it entail?
Well, first of all, we're a partner with a couple of people in Brazil who actually own and run the airport. So what we have done is to help them prepare for the World Cup, given our experience leading up to 2010. And so we added a bit of capacity in terms of the actual infrastructure itself. And then we do a bit of skills transfer in terms of how to run an airport. And then we obviously hand over and then we're going to help with the World Cup operations themselves.
And going forward, what will be the role? Is it once the skills transfer is done, you guys envisage that you will leave them to be able to run Terminal 3 smoothly?
Yeah, it's Terminal 3 and the rest of the airport. What was pre-existing, Terminal 3 is just adding 12 million passenger capacity to an already 30 million passenger capacity airport. So our involvement with them is we have a shareholding in that particular space. We've got what's called a technical services agreement where we'll always be available to help for the next number of years, even though some of our guys will come back after the World Cup, which were part of the whole skills transfer phase of our partnership.
What will this mean for the South African traveller going to Brazil?
I think for most travellers it just means a little bit easier in terms of facilitation. We're no different to anybody else who's going to be flying to Brazil, whether for the World Cup or for business. So I think generally for everybody, people who've been to GAURULHOS airport before understand some of the congestion issues that they've always had. I think what this terminal does is it eases that a little bit and it makes Brazilians feel proud because the infrastructure that we put in place is absolutely world class. And so what it does, it gives the Brazilians themselves a sense of pride. It also gives people who actually get to Brazil feel a little bit more in part of or as part of the global community because it's an excellent terminal.
And I suppose also it's part of the mandate with BRICS.
I think so, but everything that's happened so far has been done. We competed for the concession, pretty much like everybody else in the world. So it was never a thing that was closed to either Brazilian or South African companies or Indian companies or Russian companies. It was a global competitive process in terms of bidding. We partnered with an infrastructure investment firm called Inverpa, and we formed part of a consortium that bid for the airport, and we won that bid against many bidders from across the world. So yes, it does play into the whole BRICS mandate, but in terms of the process itself, we won it on a global platform.
And I suppose what puts South Africa apart from the rest of the bidders is the fact that we hosted the last World Cup and we have the most recent memories of hosting a massive global tournament like that.
No, of course, that played quite an important role, especially in terms of our partnership with Inverpa. That was the attraction. And also the fact that we also come from an emerging market where you have a history of infrastructure that hasn't been transformed in decades. And we've done that in South Africa since 1993 up to now.
Just how big is this for ACSA?
Well, for us, it is part of our journey in terms of who we are, in terms of our aspirations as we grow into the global stage. So it reaffirms what we're about. It reaffirms the fact that we can play in the global space, not just within our own country. And we've done this in South Africa, and we're saying that skill is transferable, especially in an emerging market context. I think we've done great here. We've also had previous success in India, by the way. We also run Mumbai Airport in India, and we've done a bit of a transformation over there. So this just adds to our reputation, and it adds to our own belief in ourselves in terms of what we can do, and it shows the rest of the world in terms of what we can do.
All right, lovely stuff. It's been very interesting speaking to you, Tebogo from ACSA. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if you're